Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His word. And family, I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And once again, thank you for bringing us in with your brother this week. And family, y'all know, I have been waiting all week to do this one. Yup, we are going to talk about this subject again. Every time this subject comes up, we will talk about it. Why? Because this is the thing that you need to be educating yourself about. After tonight, for those of you who are unfamiliar, you will see why I am so excited about this stuff. And a lot of you, many of you know this, but some of you don't. Now, when it comes to this so-called UFO and angels and things, this is the culmination of my life's work. I'm telling you. There's a lot of things that I have not explained to people as far as what I used to do in the past and things like that. But I'm going to tell you right now. The moment I see one of those things, when they come, because I've seen them already, but I'm talking about when they come close and they make the full revelation of who they are, I'm telling you, at that moment, I just may explode. I'm telling you, just eviscerate. Because I am going to be so filled with joy and happiness when I see our brothers coming. Before this truth, I did not know what they were, but I do now. And now that we do know, I'm going to share this information and everything here with you. So family, before we even get into any of the literature from our book, the Bible tonight, please, I need you to take a look at this.
Mr. Burleson, I'll recognize you for 5 minutes of questions, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Elizondo, does any branch of the United States government or defense contractors possess technology?
Sir, there's documentation that I believe was submitted for the record that was approved for release by the U.S. Pentagon, by the Department of Defense Office of Pre-Publication Security Review, and it states one of the reasons why my predecessor program, OSAP, was trying to collect material of unknown origin.
Was it successfully collected?
It was not. What happened is that there was an aerospace contract company that requested to divest itself of the material that was collected in the 1950s. Right. Unfortunately, that didn't actually occur.
So let's dive into that. That's the Bigelow Aerospace, correct? So
yes, sir.
There was a journalist, Christopher Sharp, who said that there was a transfer between Lockheed Martin, Bigelow Aerospace, and the CIA allegedly blocked this. Can you describe that?
What I can say is that it was blocked. Why it was blocked, I can only surmise. I was part of some conversations later on with some of those contract personnel where they had told all of us that is accurate. What we required was a memo from the Secretary of the Air Force in order to make that complete, and that never occurred. And so when Secretary Maliss became Secretary of Defense, I decided it would be appropriate for me to try to receive a memo from him as SecDef, as Secretary of Defense, if we could not get a memo from the Secretary of the Air Force to transfer that material.
So if that material exists today, who's in possession?
Sir, I wouldn't be able to have that conversation in an open hearing. We'd probably have to have that.
Okay, my question to you then is, if we were in a secure setting, if we were in a SCIF, would you be able to provide or get access to something, whether it's visuals or material that we could put our hands on, or biologics, that would convince me, that would show me that we have non-human origins?
Sir, that decision would not be mine. That would be to the gatekeeper still in the U.S. government.
And who would so if you were in our shoes, where would you go from here? How would you get that information? A lot of times we just don't know who to ask because we don't know where to go next. So if you were in our shoes, where would you go?
Well, I prefer to answer that question in a closed session. However, we established Arrow for that very purpose, and unfortunately, under its previous leadership, it failed. So one would hope that they would have the authorities necessary to do that. Let's hope that this new iteration of leadership will be successful.
In the discussions, it's simply about material, or is there discussion about it was previously testified that there was biologics that were collected. Are you aware of any of that?
I am, sir, aware of the reporting that biologics have been recovered. Again, my focus was more nuts and bolts, looking at the physical aspects of these phenomenon, how they interacted around military equities and nuclear equities. So I'm certainly not a medical expert. I would not be able to probably provide you a whole lot of value in that simply because I don't have the expertise.
But was anything described as that we have possession of bodies?
Yes, yes.
We have is it multiple types of creatures, or?
Sir, I couldn't answer that. I can tell you anecdotally that it was discussed quite a bit when I was at the Pentagon. The problem is the supposed collection of these biological samples occurred before my time, in fact, before I was even born.
And was this part of the Lockheed Martin discussion, or was this the biologics is a completely separate?
Separate yet related.
Okay. Has anyone made contact?
Sir, I'm sorry, could you specify?
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication with a non-human life form?
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble two F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
Is the United States government and our contractors, are they pulling technology from this? They're reverse engineering this?
Sir, as I previously stated, and please forgive me, I am not authorized to discuss specifics about crash retrievals. I signed documentation with the U.S. government. What I can say was, after a very thorough review process by the Pentagon, what I wrote about, and that was my limit, unfortunately, that I was given.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You saw that. They're basically saying, you know what? I'm saying yes, but I cannot tell you that I'm saying yes. That is why, first and foremost, let's just get this out in the open. That white boy made sure to let everybody know I signed documents. I can't open my mouth. I can't open my mouth. I'm going to tell you yes, because I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I'm under oath. Did we collect anything? Yeah, we did. There's one more video I got to show you. One more. And I'm going to show you right now because that last video was fresh on your mind. Remember the man that they were interviewing? I want you to now pay attention to how the media, the news, whatever, locally, whatever it may be, how they will take a congressional hearing like that and chop it up to fit their narrative. So I want to see if y'all pick up on it. All right, without any further ado, here you go.
Turning to the new report now from the Pentagon about unidentified flying objects. There were hundreds of new reported sightings over the last year, and some the government still can't explain. Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz joins us with the details. It's quite the talker. Martha, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. It does. It all sounds straight out of a science fiction movie, but these unidentified airborne objects are taken very seriously by the Pentagon and the intelligence community. And this morning, their new report revealing that these sightings are on the rise.
Navy pilots have seen them.
My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
More than 1,600 unidentified flying objects have been reviewed by the government's Anomaly Resolution Office, or ARROW, over the years. 98% of them eventually found to be debris, drones, or even large birds. But new numbers this morning from May of 2023 to June of 2024 show 757 new sightings, with 21 of them that cannot be explained. And all 21 mysterious objects were seen near national security sites, witnessed by multiple people, or captured on sensors or videos. While the Pentagon does not know what they were, they are quick to steer the public away from little green men.
To date, the department has discovered no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial beings, activity, or technology.
But at a hearing this week, the former head of the Pentagon program investigating these objects says nothing should be ruled out.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes. Let me be clear. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations.
While Pentagon officials do stress that they have no evidence of any of this being alien technology, they have not ruled that out and are continuing to investigate every unexplained sighting. George?
Always raises so many questions. Okay, Martha, thank you.
I know y'all saw that. That was entirely too matter of fact. It was too obvious for you to ignore. I know you saw that. Did you see how they just took, I mean, it felt awkward the way that they took and doctored it up. Just to say that little bit. But just like we talked about back in January. Remember how I told y'all when it comes to the news anchors, you got to pay attention to how their characteristics are, and you can always tell the narrative that they are about to start going in that particular direction. You can always tell by their expressions. Was it not prevalent right there? Right there in front of your face. But why now, family? We have to ask this question. Why in the halls of the American Congress? Why on Capitol Hill are they beginning to talk so much now about UFOs? And that's actually what they're not called. They're IFOs because they are identified flying objects, as you just heard. They know that they're here. They know that they're real. Now, the biggest thing about this is what he said. He said they're really not hiding themselves anymore. They're making it pretty obvious that they're there. We talked about this years ago. What did I tell all of you? Those have been rocking with me for this long. Didn't I tell you that this would be the year that they're going to start coming out with all this stuff? Everybody want to talk about Cat Williams. So Cat Williams made this big prediction. I was talking about this stuff years ago. Years ago. And all of this is now starting to come into fruition. Did you hear? Wait. I'm probably going to wind up showing that video again, but I'll refresh your memory when it comes up. Just because I wanted to start bringing the scriptures out. So family, please open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha, okay? I don't want God to have to wait anymore. But I had to show y'all that stuff because as we read through these scriptures, it's going to make all the sense in the world. I want y'all to really pay attention and keep right here. Keep in the on your mental right now. When the pilot was like, "Oh gosh," he was like, "Oh gosh." The wind is going 100 and something miles an hour, and it is breezing past that like it's nothing. Now, I'm not sure if some of you know, but those of y'all that live in the country, right, and they have really bad windstorms, at 40 miles an hour, the wind could be going 40 miles an hour, and it'll damn near push your car off the road. Your car, as you're in it, it'll push you. So Just remember that. We're going to come back to it. So, all right, family, now let's go ahead and let's get into this. Let's go. We are going to be reading from the book of Ezekiel. Now, we have borrowed from Ezekiel before, but we never went in and read Ezekiel. We did not give Ezekiel the proper respect that it deserves for a breakdown. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. Because the Father told us, none of us should be surprised by any of this extraterrestrial angelic activity. We should not be surprised by any of this stuff, but some of us may be. So we're going to go in here and we're going to read exactly what the Father showed us, and we're going to compare. We're going to compare these things here. I'm ready. Are you ready? I hope so. Let's go. All right. Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1. Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 1. Now, it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Shabar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. So now, verse 1, we got to break that down. There's a lot of meat on that bone. First and foremost, let's start with verse 1. Verse 1, first and foremost, do you see here that it gives time and location? So, as I told y'all before, the Most High doesn't change, as it says in this word. He called it the River Shabar. Where is Shabar? Where is that? You know where it is? It's in Iraq. The Father doesn't change. Man has changed the name of that river. God hasn't. It's still called the Shabar River today. It has a place. It has a location. It's in Iraq. Why is it that in this Bible, it gives damn near longitude and latitude? Wait, I said latitude, stupid. Longitude and latitude. I said latitude. That's a new word. But as you see, though, the Father gives the descriptions, and all we got to do is just go there. Literally to that land. But it means a lot more. I'm going to read this one more time. Now it came to pass in the 30th year. So that's the 30th year. In the 4th month. Stop. That means something. That 4th month. So now, for those of you that are, everybody right now, let me just cut to the chase. Everybody right now, whether you believe in the calendar or not, the moons or not, doesn't matter. Everybody in Israel, we can all agree that the 1st month, late March, early April, right? Let's just say April. We can all agree on that. The 4th month. So now, April is the 1st month. May, June, July, August. Why did the Most High give us August? Why did he tell us this? Why did he make this an issue? You know why? Because the month of August, storm season. And as we know from these scriptures, that the storms is God's tempest. Who does the Father send to do his will? He sends the angels. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. Some of y'all, something just clicked, didn't it? And please forgive me for me continue to wipe my nose. My allergies are bothering me. I'm so sorry. But not only did it mention that, but it also mentioned the captives. That's us. Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. Again, the Father showing you who the people are, the longitude and latitude, and also the actual location, the time, not even the month, but the actual day. That is how descriptive God truly, truly is. And I'm making sure that I am stressing that so that as we go further with this lesson here, you're going to see just how precise the Father really is. And even as the world tried to hide what he has put on this earth, you're going to see how unsuccessful they are. Verse 2. In the 5th day of the month, you see, there it is right there again, which was the 5th year of King Joachim's captivity. Verse 3. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest. Now, let's pay attention to that. The word of the Lord came expressly. Expressly, you know what that means? It means fast. It means quick. Very, very fast. And to who? Ezekiel the priest. Showing you that the Father, making sure that you understand that this is the man of importance. This is one of his. The son of Buzi. Why is the Father laying this down like this? Now telling you who his daddy is. So not only is he given longitude, latitude, location, time and day, but now he's giving you family record. Come on now. Come on now. All right, well, let's continue. Watch. We're going to continue. I'm going to read this one more time just to get us back into the swing. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Shabar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. So the Most High is making it very known. I'm giving you all the detail. This is Ezekiel, the son of Buzi. That is my son down there, and my hand is on him. Don't touch him. That's mine. Wouldn't you just love for the Most High to talk about you like that? That one is mine right there. My hand is on that one right there. Don't you touch him. And with God's hand being on Ezekiel, what was he able to do? See the visions. And what does that mean? He was in the spirit. Oh yeah, we'll continue. Watch. If y'all can tell, I'm very excited about this lesson here tonight. Verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. A whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and the fire enfolding itself, and the brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. So what is that? First and foremost, this is why I wanted to make sure that I mentioned storm season. So from April, May, June, July, August, the Most High sends out these tornadoes every year. Same time, same cleanup, because the Most High is repetitive. And just this week, right here where I live, tornado danger. Tornado danger in the month of November. In the month of November. Now, last week, just one state over from me, the Most High kicked Oklahoma City's ass. It looked like a junkyard. What did he do? He sent tornadoes in that land. Right here. Right here. So now, as we read this here, right? I want to back up one. Let's go back to verse 3. I want to read something. Watch this. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest. And I'm backing up here for a reason, because we're going to shoot forward very fast. But you have to remember, Ezekiel was a priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Shabar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. But I want to make sure that I drive something home to you guys. So we're going to detour. I want you to go to the book of 1 Kings, chapter 19 and verse 5. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 19 and verse 5. because we have to see exactly how the Father be dealing with us. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. Now, I wanted to make sure that you understood that we have had these encounters with angels before. I need y'all to understand that this is something that is not foreign to us for this type of activity to take place. It's not. We have had interactions with angels before. They come on this earth, they appear, and there is always chaos when they do because people don't know what they are. Why? We have been removed from this book. But that was that. Now, that was one precept. Now I'm going to get another precept. I want you to go to the book of Exodus, chapter 23. The book of Exodus, chapter 23, and go down to verse 20, please. The book of Exodus, chapter 23, and verse 20. I'm going to read it again. This is another precept. Watch this. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Do you see that? The Father's making it clear. I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way. First and foremost, what's the way? The way of righteousness. That way, that pathway, that narrow path. So when the angel interacts with people, he expects them to keep the law. Right? Now, some of y'all think I might be tripping. Let's read the next verse. Let's see what it says. Beware. Beware of him. Beware of him. And obey his voice. So let's start with that right there. First and foremost, the word beware means to what? To warn. Why would you need to warn? And why would you need to be warned about an angel? First and foremost, because the angel is going to make sure that you keep your way. And what does it say right here? What's the next? And obey, 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 obey his voice. Provoke him not. For he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. For my name is in him. Wow. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Let's talk about this. First and foremost, what do the angels have? They have authority. And the Father warns you about them. He said he will not pardon your foolishness. In other words, you sin around him, he gonna kill you. I will not pardon. The Father said, I will not pardon your foolishness, nigga. Act up in front of one of my angels, they're gonna put you to death. Right here. So now y'all understand why. Y'all understand why these governments, especially the American government, they are terrified of these angels. What was the one thing that white boy said? The one thing that you should have really taken away from that whole speech that he gave. We're not alone. And he made that very clear that we're not alone. What did the woman, the anchor, what did she say about the American government? What did she say about the American government? She said that they're going to make sure that you understand that they are not little green men. You're damn right they're not, because they're black. And you're going to find that out here tonight. I'm going to read that one more time. Verse 22. But if thou shall indeed obey his voice. Excuse me. I'm reading 22 now. Sorry, I didn't read that before. I'm reading it now. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries. That's why they are afraid. They don't want you to know that the angels are here for your black ass. And they have these government secrets. It's so secret, they know that first and foremost, you should feel so stupid for not knowing this information, because all of the information right here in the Bible, all we had to do was go and read it. That's all we had to do. We just had to go and read it. It's been here the whole time. The whole time. And we never read it. They have created task force. They have created departments for God's angels. You're going to find out as we read this. We haven't even gotten to verse 4 yet. Not even to verse 4. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Now let's go to verse 4. Verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud and a fire enfolding itself. Y'all got to understand that. Use your imagination. Come on. A brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Now, y'all already know, for those of you that are able to see them, just like I am, you go out there, and some of them, like, you sit and you stare at them, and you can see it because they move around. Stars don't move. Stars don't move. And they move around, and they zip real fast. You see them. And when you do, what color are they? They're very bright, and they flash, and they have like that fire amber color. It's like it goes like from white to orange, from white to orange. You just sit there, and it's like there's no mistaking what it is. And that's why that dude was like, yo, they are making themselves known. It's like they're not hiding themselves, and they're not. I'm telling y'all. Whoo! Just wait. Oh, this is the greatest. It's the absolute greatest. Verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. I need y'all to really start paying attention now and putting on your thinking caps. And I want y'all to start using your imaginations now. You see, AI can produce an image, but nothing is better than this imagination right here. Nothing is better than your imagination. I want you to use it. I want you to use your imagination as I bring out this reality so that you can form the picture in your own brain of what this is. God told you exactly what it looks like. Watch. Everyone, verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. So he's telling you that these beings, these particular beings right here that he's describing, that Ezekiel is seeing, has 4 faces and 4 wings, and it has the body of a man. All right. And their feet were straight, and the soles of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. So how a camel or a cow, they have feet like that. Their feet are just like a camel's or a cow. Verse 7, still there, and we're going to continue. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So now, when you look at me, you look at my complexion. I would be the color of ordinary brass. When the summertime come, get me out in that sun for 10 minutes. I am the color of burnished brass. They look like us, guys. They look like us. Our color, in the likeness of a man. But there's just something a little bit different about them. Let's continue to read. Let's see exactly what it's talking about. Verse 8. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. So now the Most High is making sure that you understand this. He's making sure that you have to understand. You got to tell niggas things over and over and over. And this is exactly what God is doing right here. He's like, yes, yes. Why? Because niggas ain't gonna believe it. They had 4 hands and they had 4 faces. Cause you have a nigga be like, huh? What? No, I don't believe that. And God is telling you, nigga, they had 4 hands, 4 wings, and 4 faces. Verse 9, their wings were joined. Their wings were joined. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. Now, family, this is not talking about the craft. This is talking about the being. I need y'all to understand that part. This is talking about the being. This is just the being. We're not even at the vehicle yet. So, do y'all understand this? I want to make sure that y'all do understand like what it's saying here if you get the picture. So, you have this humanoid figure with 4 wings, 4 arms, 4 hands. So, you have the 2 hands, that's for combat. The 2 hands, right? And then the other 2 big wings that come over and cover the body. It's a full protective suit. God is amazing. God is absolutely amazing. Verse 10, watch this. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, so one that looked just like me, and the face of a lion. So that's right here. So a lion's face right here. And on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox. On the left side, they 4 also had the face of an eagle. Now, I'm not sure if anybody on this planet would be able to stomach that in the world that we live in now. So I need y'all to understand just how strong mentally our brothers were all the way back then, that they saw this figure. The figure, first now, when we read in the Apocrypha, they're tall. Absolutely tall. So we're not only looking at a humanoid figure that's a giant, because, you can look at 7 feet men and, you be creeped out by 7 feet men. Can you imagine something double that size, 14, 15 feet? You have the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, and the face of an eagle. With 4 huge wings. Nope. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'd probably shit myself if I saw that. I'd be so happy to see it, but the bowels are being let go. I'm telling you, as much as I would love to see something like that, I know it when I stand in front of it. Yeah. Straight up clean out. Straight clean out. Verse 11. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another and covered their bodies. Remember, I was telling y'all earlier. So that's how it is. They got the 2 hands for the combat, and then the other 2 wings or whatnot that go straight out or what. Now, as you realize, it's not talking about those wings for flight. Those wings are not for flight. It didn't mention anything about the wings being for flight. Can you imagine what they're going to be for? You got to remember who you're dealing with here. You're dealing with the Most High. Just talking about this here is insane. This is not science fiction. We're reading the Bible. That one book that everybody got on their coffee table or under it or wherever it is, collecting dust. It's amazing what happens when you read it. Verse 12, and they went everyone straight forward. Whither the Spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. Remember, I told y'all to remember what that white boy was talking about in the plane, where he's like, oh gosh, remember? They zip. They don't even turn where they go. They don't have to turn. They don't have to turn because they are so accurate that wherever they go is a precise straight line. Just think about that. Just think, imagine operating a car, right? And you know, in order for us to go in the other direction, we got to make a turn. Imagine you just have a beam. I got nothing on me. All right, I'll use my hand. So imagine, right? This is the vehicle. You have this, right? And it's going it's going this way, but you gotta go back that way. Now in a car, you know, we gotta take it and we gotta make that dynamic move and make a curve. With this, comes and goes straight back to wherever it needs to go. Back that fast. Back that fast. Back that fast. Back that fast. Just think of a circle with with just lines. Just little lines, right? Just think of a circle. Little lines. And in the middle of that circle, you can go anywhere you want to. Anywhere you want. That's how these things are made. Mind-blowing. And they're real. That's the crazy part, is that they're real. And they're coming for us to save us. For the other nations, they're coming to destroy them. And the 2/3 of the unrighteous Israelites. You better hop your ass on that righteous bus. They're here. I need y'all to understand that again. Right now, they are talking in the halls of Congress. There are literal people in our government that are walking into the halls of Congress on an everyday basis now, and they are putting on television what they told us wasn't real for so many years. They lied and told us that these things were not real for so many years, but there were people like me, there were people like you that was like, that's bullshit. Because I feel that they're real. Hey, what are they doing now? Oh, we were doing it for your protection. We were doing it for your protection, you know, because if this was to come out that aliens were actually attacking the world, it could create a type of chaos that we wouldn't be able to control. You was never going to be able to control it anyway, you idiot. Now, let's continue. Verse 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, you see how the Father's making sure that you understand there are actual beings, living creatures, not a spirit. The spirit is separate from this, just like us. Just like us. We just read that. But we're going to read it again because the Father's going to repeat himself. Watch. We're going to read verse 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire. So now, everybody here knows exactly what the barbecue grill looked like. The coal is black. And when it's lit, it's black and orange. So the angels are black and orange. It describes it, watch. And their appearance was like burning coals of fire. And like the appearance of lamps, which means that it's brightness coming out. It's brightness coming out. It's brightness coming out. Whoo! It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. Wow. And out of the fire went forth lightning. family. Family. I truly hope y'all have enough imagination to be able to use it. I truly do. Lightning that comes out of fire. This motion is going up and down the angels' bodies. There is nothing that Hollywood could produce. Nothing in the world that can ever come close to what God can produce. Family, let's think about this here for a second. Guys, come on. For real. Yeah, have to. You must. Let's look at this. You have these tall beings, right? Living, as God said, living. They are living. They're organisms. Tall, 4 faces. The face of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. With 4 big ass wings. And 4 arms. Which means 4 hands too. With fire going up and down its body. With lightning emanating from it. AI wouldn't be able to create that. And they are our family. Verse 14. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Guys, that fast. So now, when we go back to verse 1, let's go back to verse 1 really quick. Oh, excuse me, verse 3, not verse 1, verse 3. Excuse me. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest. It got there to him fast, quick, fast, in 2 hurries. Now I'm going to read 14 again. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. That's how Ezekiel was able to get the word so fast and be able to get that vision so fast. The Father sent it to him. Go get it to him. That fast. Why was Ezekiel able to receive it? Because he was in the Spirit. That is what happens when you live righteously. The Father is able to send you communication. When you are unrighteous, you don't get a damn thing but turmoil and punishment. That's why it pays. It pays to do what's right. Verse 15. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, as I'm looking at him, he's letting you know as I'm looking at these living creatures. Behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. So now it's letting you know that they have vehicles. But I gotta make sure you understand this. Ezekiel is making sure that you know, like, look, he's like, nigga, I'm looking at this thing here. I'm looking at it. He's telling you, I'm looking at this damn thing in front of me, man. Woo! But y'all also have to remember this too. The Father had to put that vision in him. What does the Father do when we have to engage with him? He knock us out. Put us down on the ground. I got to put you into the spiritual realm. So now, understand, Ezekiel is not asleep. His body is put on hold as his spirit was taken from his body and shown the spiritual realm. We can't see the spiritual realm with these eyes. We'll die. Verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. Beryl is a green. And they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So 2 wheels. One going this way and the other going that way. You know what that is? You know what that when it's doing that? That is God's symmetry, showing you the perfection. God can't make any mistakes. None. A wheel operating inside of a wheel. So one going this way and the other one going that way. Like a gyroscope. Have you ever played with a gyroscope before? What can you not do with a gyroscope? You can't control a damn gyroscope. You try to make it do this, go this way, do that, do what? You can't. The gyroscope is the evidence of God's nature. It's a little token that he gave us. Like you see this, like this little apparatus right here. You can't even control, nigga. You have it in your hand and you can't control it. Verse 17. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. Even the vehicles have the very same motion. Watch. Verse 18. As for their rings, still talking about the circles, they were so high that they were dreadful. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read it again for those of you that are not picking up what this is saying. Watch. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. Wow. So what does it let you know? Yep, you can see them up in the sky. God is letting you know. You can see them in the sky, and when you see them in the sky, you feel intimidated. It's dreadful when you see them. But at close appearance, these rings are full of eyes. Yeah, those things right here. They're full of eyes. So as you can see, when God made the earth, he already had creations and stuff, and we are bits and pieces of creations that he already made. Here you have this tall figure with a face of a bird on the back of his head, a lion, an ox, and a man's face here. So God already had these things created. This reality is starting to hit now, isn't it? So here you have these rings that's covered with eyes. Let you know that God sees everything. All perspectives on a gyroscope view of everything. Everything. And that is just the vehicle. Verse 19, excuse me. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So you have this force that when the living creature, and again, understand, this is not saying that it is a spirit. It is a living biological entity. And when they go up, the vehicle goes up too. Woo! Wow. Watch verse 20. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Yeah, not even realizing what's operating these things. It's the Holy Spirit. The Spirit operates the angels. But planet Earth and the inhabitants of the other nations want to convince you that it's an alien. But the Bible says, nah, God is like, nah, that's me. That's me. This ain't science. It's me. Watch. Let's continue. I'm going to read 20 again. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. The spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. So that means that these living beings have the ability to step outside their bodies and put it wherever they please. Wow. Just like Ezekiel. Except the Father had to trigger him for the spirit to leave his body so he'd be able to see. But when it comes to the angel, in and out whenever he wants to, we had that power, but we lost it because we're greater than the angels, remember? And you have people down here voting. Oh, boy. Verse 22, excuse me. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures was as the color of the terrible crystal, stretched forth over their heads above. Now, I know many of you right now scratching that dome of yours. This is so easy. The Father made it clear, just right here too. Above the firmament. Above the firmament. Huh? What? There's a dome above the firmament. There's a dome above the firmament. Meaning what? The earth is flat. God created a dome above the firmament. Now, when you do get up there, because there are actual heights of the firmament that you can get to where you can lose the gravitational pull. That is why you are able to have satellites and things up there. That is why, first and foremost, gravity is nothing more than a pulley system for the solar system. That's all it is. That's why the sun goes under the earth, and then comes back up the next day. It's in the very same place where it's always been every day. It has never changed. But what does that have to do with these living creatures? Now, wait a second. Now, hold up, because now I'm about to bust your brain wide open. How did they depict Martians back in the day? I just gave the answer away. How did they depict Martians before they started depicting them as little green men? And for those, we did a lesson on that before. That's Pan, okay? For those who are unfamiliar with the little green men or whatnot, that is simply Pan. That is a little demonic imp creature. I hate using that word, but for those of you, y'all understand that. It's a little demonic creature that they are able to summon. That's not what that is. This over here, God's living creatures. How did they depict Martians back before the introduction of little green men? They had them in the helmets. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. When y'all go back to those 1940, 50, and 60s movies, the Martians always had the firmament around their head. Guys, this government knew about this book for so long. They just wasn't going to tell you about it. They know everything. They know it's coming. They know the fight. They know everything that is going to happen to them because the Bible explains it all. It explains it all to us. They were just smart enough to pick it up and read it. It's not difficult.
program to bring you an urgent message from the Department of Civilian Defense. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is a civilian threat alert to all inhabitants of the continental United States and allied territories. NORAD, in conjunction with allied military satellite detection, has confirmed an approaching fleet of unidentified phenomena with biological entities of a malevolent and hostile nature. The United States military cannot guarantee the safety and security of its civilians. It is advised to remain out of sight of the entities as the potential for risk is likely fatal. A nationwide curfew has been put into effect immediately and will remain until further notice. Seek shelter.
See that? It's that easy. That easy. That scenario is going to be real here come soon. And I truly hope you're ready. Stop playing with the Father. Stop playing with him. Verse 23. And under the firmament were their wings straight, and one toward the other. Everyone had two, which covered on this side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side their bodies, like I was talking about earlier. You got the two wings for combat, and you got the other two that come over and cover their bodies entirely, like a pod. You know what I'm saying? Just cover them. And so you'd be wondering, like, what the hell am I seeing up there shooting around like that? Verse 24. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. So, man, just imagine. You guys, you gotta, come on, you gotta feel this. Just to see these beings, just for them to stand up, and just the noise of their wings, the noise. Y'all got to understand, the frequency on this earth is going to be changed on that day. You will be able to feel noise. You thought you was able to feel bass at a concert. Man, please. Woo! Woo! Watch. Verse 25. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. So again, you see how I was talking about that? God keeps telling you that. There's something that's going to happen when them wings come down. When them wings drop. He told you twice. I'm not sure how much more can be explained when it comes to that. Verse 26, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. That's God. That's the Father. Father I am. He has a body. He got a chair just like the one I'm sitting in right now. And all he's doing is sitting in it. And watch, let's continue reading. Watch. Verse 27. And I saw the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upwards. So that's where I want to get to. So it's telling you right now, Ezekiel's looking up and God is sitting down right now. So you see how I'm sitting right here? So if somebody's under me, they're going to have the appearance of my loins right there, right? Right there, showing that God has legs. And Ezekiel's looking up at him, and God is looking right back down. And I'm like, what's up? Yeah, I'll open this up for you to see. You see me here. You see me here. You better get your ass to work down there and let everybody up here know that I'm real. You better let them know. And Ezekiel looking it up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But also seeing all these other things going on around him too. All of these likenesses of these other creatures. All right, let's continue. Let's continue in this one here. And from the appearance of his loins, even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had the brightness round about, as the appearance of the bow. Talk about a rainbow. That is in the cloud in the day of rain. So was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. So first and foremost, you already know, for the idiot, disgusting, wretched ass Christian, you lying bastards, when they catch the Holy Ghost and they go crazy, oh, they fall back. In the scriptures, everybody falls forward. They fall on their face. That's how you know who's operating the Christian church, the damn devil, because Satan does everything in opposition to the Father. Can't even believe I was a part of that bullshit. Yep, and I was an usher too, and people falling back. I had to learn how to catch people falling backwards. Straight up, man, I'm telling you, that Christian church destroyed our people. Why is it that the Christian church, why are they not bringing this out? You know why? Because they can't. They are designed and paid to lie to you, to keep you stupid. All I'm doing is opening up the Bible and reading it. All we have to do is read this book. That's all we got to do. We got to read it. Just take some time and understand. Do you see how these evil bastards just went ahead and depicted all this stuff and put it right in our face? They played in our face this whole time. This entire time. And what did we do? We sat right there and we just ate it. We should be ashamed that all of this knowledge right here, it's not even science fiction. All of this knowledge was right here. Just be glad that the Father gave us, first and foremost, the privilege to read his word and understand it. But also gave us the privilege to understand the warnings that are coming. They're all around. All around. In family, we getting ready to go home.